Well, the why now in the personal sense, the fastest way to describe it is because readiness has reached a point of meeting a need. And for me, the sense of readiness is that over the last several decades, I have been working with senior leadership teams in some of the most admired companies in the world, essentially, as Lisa said, helping them create the future of their businesses and their organizations. And that line of inquiry has very much been propelled and inspired and informed by the even longer line of inquiry that I've engaged early in life, in my early 20s, even when I was still in the Air Force, which centered on some of the bigger philosophical, developmental, spiritual questions of life. Many of us, perhaps all of us, inquire at some point in time, why are we here, humans on this earth? What's it all about? What's the purpose of living? And how may we be able to access and unlock the greater potential of living at this time? And even more specifically, what is the nature of the experience in this modern, moving into postmodern world? So these core inquiries propelled me my entire adult life. And those two lines came together at a point of readiness, encountering what I and some of the people here that are part of this endeavor we call portals of perception felt was an increasing crisis in the world. And really the sense that anywhere you look, all levels of civic engagement in society and politics for sure, and geopolitics at all levels, all organizations, all institutions, you're seeing quite a tremendous range of crises, leadership crisis. In most places there is leadership void. There is a breakdown of trust. And as a result of this, there are many other challenges and crises on the world stage. And the position and the conviction and the belief that I bring to this is that the confluence, the convergence of these crisis points, whatever you look at, they represent in some way an evolutionary threshold. Because one of the ways to perceive what is going on is that the operating system that evolved over the last 2 centuries, really coming through the Industrial Revolution, moving into a modern world after 2 world wars, and then the primacy of free market economies and democratic systems, that this entire arc of the 200 years, which we are discussing and will discuss extensively on portals of perception in a variety of conversations, that some of the operating system that led us, including the fantastic usage of modern technology and advanced technology like the one we're using now, that some of the elements in this operating system has reached a crisis point. And the conviction that I bring to this is very much that this is an evolutionary transition, which means the finest day of humanity are ahead of us, they're not behind, which means that we have an opportunity to work for our grandchildren and great-grandchildren, which is the majority of what propels me in portals of perception. And that the nature of the evolutionary process, evolutionary transition of this time, is that we actually get to elect to participate as conscious agents, as conscious participants. It's that sense that the transition that's underway is not going to come, the solution, the update of the operating system is not going to come from governments, it's not going to come from some other all-knowing source, in fact, it's all of us individually in the way we choose to live our life as individuals, as families, in local circumstances, in communities, that what is occurring in the world right now calls for, and the unlock of the possibility for all of us is first in how we choose to participate and to self-author ourselves as part of this transition. So that's really why portals of perception. Portal, the idea of portal, is that each one of us, each human, we each are a portal of possibility, a portal of unlocked potential. That in fact, the way you know yourself today is simply a draft of what you can be, what you may be, what you are potentially becoming as you continue to evolve. And that sense that what is unfolding now needs, the challenges that we see on the global stage, they need many, many, many humans stepping into their greater potential, hence portal, in the sense that each person is an entry point of possibility. Perception, because of the appreciation that for us adults, we learn and grow and evolve very much through new understanding, through new perception. If my granddaughter brains still enjoy the 100% plasticity and she is able to assimilate that experience in such a profound way, for us adults, change, developmental change begins with new perception. So that's why we are focusing on portals of perception. We're looking to develop many conversations on the platform that will unlock new perceptions. And we lead from perception to the second element that's prime on the site, because it's going to be portals of perception and portals of practice. The reason for the focus on practice, and today is a practice session, it's a listening practice session, is because of the understanding and the appreciation that for us adults, in order to learn, to grow, to make a change, we need to transition from propositional knowledge, from conceptual knowledge. We need to build the bridge from propositional and conceptual knowledge all the way to experiential and embodied knowledge. And that bridge from the conceptual and the propositional to the experiential and the embodied is the bridge, if you like, the Golden Gate Bridge, from intention to realization. And the way we build indeed that bridge from intention to embodied, experienced realization is through a life of practice, through a living practice. It's not a new idea. If you play the violin, if you play the piano, if you play golf, or if you play basketball, you know that you're going to have to practice on a weekly basis, perhaps on a daily basis, to refine your craft. What we are today proposing is to expand this idea of a life of practice to an even broader concept, to the idea of being a human in times of change is a work in progress practice. The reason I love so much this idea, and some of you who participated in strategy and corporate events with me, you've heard me say this often, it frees me up, it liberates me to wake up in the morning and recognize that today I have an opportunity to build some new practices and some new drafts. In other words, I'm not arrested or limited to who I was yesterday, to who I was a week ago to who I was a year ago. Today, I have the permission to create new drafts of who I am becoming. And the pull, the invitation for the idea of the portals of perception is very much just that we as humans can forever grow into the new draft that we are discovering. And therefore, today I can become a more compassionate person, a more patient person. Today I can build better practices of listening, better coaching, better facilitating, better partnering, whatever the areas of practices that you choose to focus on. That's the invitation, that's the message in the sense of portals of perception. And what I'm proposing humans at this time are called into, to engage life as a work in progress practice.